My name is Professor TK Pooe. I'm the Professor of Political Science and Governance within the Wits School of Government here in the Parktown campus. My primary areas of research and teaching involve looking at and assisting the South African government and other African continental governments to be able to think about not just policy in the short term, and short term here we mean five to 3 years, but to ask the key question: are you getting your institutions, are you getting your local government entities to be able to work in the next 10 to 20 years? At the moment, I'm currently doing key research looking into local economic development within local government, which is to get how do we get economic activity happening in where people live and experience government most closely, which is municipalities. Second to that, I look at issues of scenario planning, which is to plan for any eventual outcomes. One of the areas that one is proud to have worked on is to give hindsight to the government, well, foresight or hindsight to the government about the person who is making America great again. And what we're trying to do with that one is to say it's one thing to have a great understanding and grasp of history, but what research should be about, especially for a developing country like South Africa, is are you thinking about the next 20 or 30 years? And I also then look at the key issues of national interest, which is to say what can the South African government purposely say this is what we focus on to make South Africa an economically viable country. At the moment, I'm wrapping up my research project along with colleagues, which we've been looking at state-owned entities and their relationship with the just energy transition. We believe that for state-owned entities to be valuable, they need to be able to answer questions of the future, and the energy transition is key to that. After the just energy and state-owned entities project, which is winding down, one will be looking at key considerations about how do we get the South African government to better play a positive role as a hegemon in the Southern African region. For this, we're going to look at controversial things such as what role can South Africa purposely push using its economic power to get the region to work better. The argument has always been that South Africa is a bit shy in leading the region, but I think what the current circumstances teach us is that if South Africa doesn't lead, it not only makes the country poorer, but it also makes the region a whole lot poorer. And we cannot have a Southern African region where only one country is economically viable, which is South Africa. And that's what my project will be looking at. In short, one can say it's looking at statecraft of the 21st century.